All right. Thank you for joining. Stream is up. Let's get to it. All right. So as you all know, I am building a a very high density Milwaukee slash Chicago inspired um, city, and we're going to be calling it Cherrywood County. Now, a little stuff I've done off the screen to catch everybody up real quick. So I started the stream creating this little city here. You see, I got a main road, um, a little main road here with some side streets. This is going to be very high residential out here. A lot of houses, a lot of just packed in there. A bunch of alleyways, just kind of like Milwaukee. Um, and then we have the main street with a couple roundabouts, which kind of leads us here to Uptown. Um, Probably get a little bit bigger high school out here, probably a focused school campus, a little bit of business, a lot more commercial, and then it's going to lead us into downtown, downtown kind of waterfront vibes. Um, and then just off of that, we have a two-part little fancier neighborhoods that's kind of, ocean views, a little bit more expensive. So we will get started with that. And then to show everyone what we've added off the camera, you can see here I put in a little off ramp. Um, you know, the land value here, as you live closer to the highway, is probably not going to be as expensive houses, but farther away they'll get more expensive. I built this highway system. Um, and we are going to just expand in the map as we continue. We will essentially and eventually get down this way as I've added a kind of Milwaukee, Chicago inspired interchange. Um, Very messy, but it works. Everyone goes every way, right? Like it's all over the place, but that's kind of what it's like when you drive through Milwaukee. And there's connections all over. So, and then just off of here, we kind of got started a big battery backup battery station with a road maintenance depot. So shortly after I start the city, I'll get this road maintenance depot connected, and we'll have people working on, the roads and make sure that they stay up to par. And then as we continue to build, we will head up this way as another extension of the city. Remember, Milwaukee slash Chicago inspired, a little bit of West Mountainy uh, feel to it. So we'll probably dip into that of a more of a southwestern kind of thing. You can see I have another bridge out that way. Um, I'm thinking that right here, this lake up to the beach is going to be a little bit more of a downtown, the major downtown, into more of a industrial port factory area where a lot of shipping boats and stuff come into this beach. It'll be re-landscaped, but more of this lake off the highway, downtown, some stadium districts, some high density office. We'll get into that. And then you have this side of the map, which is, it can be whatever we want it to be. I'll probably leave that up for some suggestions. Um, but I'm thinking we kind of mix it in with some industrial, a little bit of agriculture, since that's kind of been the theme out this way. I think we can continue that. Just more high dense population. Maybe get a little bit of train station stuff out this way. Kind of keep it short, as in Milwaukee there is not much um, that you see train action, but This is exactly this is a good setup. I like how we have it. Um, and so we're going to go ahead and just kind of get started here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to start putting houses down. And I think the um, the best style of houses to put down right away is probably going to be the Southwest pack. So let's just get in here and we'll pull up some Southwest stuff just right off the bat. I like the way it looks. It's very uh, nice. But Milwaukee is jam-packed with things. So I think also the UK and the Eastern European stuff was gonna look nice. But like, for example, if we just go straight to level 5 houses and we pull up this Southwest pack, I'm scrolling through all sorts of stuff. We pulled the Southwest pack. I mean, look at this. Look at that house. That's beautiful. Or this one. This is what I like to see. Just imagine the neighborhood, a bunch of these. You got the garage on the side. I'm really liking what the game did with these. These are probably my uh, favorite ones. And then they even have a couple, um, a little bit more penthouses. Uh, Kind of could pass off as an apartment. You got some houses here, Southwest. You got a little bit bigger, lower style. Um, yeah, I definitely like these. So what I think we're going to do is, so this here, these blocks are all 8 deep. So if we keep them, we'll start out at level 3, and we're gonna go depth up 4. But we're gonna bring in the UK and the Eastern European as well. And you know, if yep, and then I have all these streets labeled. So like this is North 10th, first, all the way until what do we got here? 17th. So this is wrong though. This is not supposed to be High Street. We want this to start out as. We want to get our first street and dedicate it to Madeline. We're gonna go Madeline Street here. Didn't save it. Silly me. We'll call it. This is North. I'm gonna call it West Madeline Street. So when we're driving down West Madeline Street, this is how we want to do things. Now, one thing I am going to quick change that I see is I don't want to drive through here and pull up to a stoplight every single, that's just not how I want it to get. So we'll go every 2. We're gonna take some away. So we have the stoplights here. We're gonna delete these ones, and then we're just gonna move down. All right. So we did 1, 2, delete. We'll keep this one. We'll go 1, 2. We'll keep this one. 1, 2. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. And then we will get rid of this last one. And I think that's just a little bit smoother. I mean, you don't want to drive through and just have to stop every 200 feet. I mean, no one's gonna want to do that. So, all right, we're moving on. So now what I think we can do, I think right away we can start with laying stuff down. I have, if everything is correct, everything should be ready to go with power. We got power dipped into the city. We're hooked up underneath. This does not have power though, this main road, which actually is not what I wanted. All instances, we'll get rid of this one. Therefore, everything should have everything over here should be powered up. Boom. And that's what I like to see. Now, unfortunately, the highway is not powered up, and that's fine. However, the highway should support water and sewage, as this is all custom highways. But power, we should be good here. We will probably need more. Yeah, we're already going to need more. So what I think we're going to do before we even get started is we're going to wind turbine some stuff. And we want it to be the most impactful. We got some mountains up here, but do I really want to just... I think what we'll do is we can start them. Look at this. This is a great spot. We'll rotate it so it faces the wind, and we'll slap one here, here. I mean, this is just a kind of out the way, like this is just a little field. Some are lower than others, that's okay, because I'm not too, um, they don't need to be. Alright. And then what this needs to do is go under. And boom. We should be in business. Alright. Let's get started with laying. Just some typical houses. And we'll start here on first. And then right off the bat, we're gonna go back to this. 3 deep. We're gonna start at level 2. I think that's what I want to do. And we're just gonna randomly place houses on this side of first. And we have the UK variants. The Eastern European is coming through. And boom, we fit. We're gonna change it. That's a little. And then over here, I think I'm gonna leave it 7 spaces. If we get it too deep or too wide, there we go. I'm gonna leave 5 for commercial on the main road. Then we're gonna go here, and we're just gonna keep filling. And if you pay attention to the bottom, we already have 4 people ready to move in. Now we need to let's place the same one. Oh, we're gonna have to move that one over since that one did not fit the way we wanted it to. Boom. And then, since it's the other side, we can just... This looks like it's overlapping because I didn't get it right, but that's okay because we have anarchy. And we're just going to keep placing things. We got 4 people ready to move in. And we're just going to fill this out. Huh. That's weird how it just took that one away, but that's cool. We can replace it. Alright. And with that being said, we're going to save that one as we have got the city started. And just from placing these houses, you can find the ones where people moved in. I don't even remember which one was the first, but so they are on the way. So we got our first a minivan driving the Ambrose family. And they are making their way all the way down Applegate Street, which is going to turn into West Madeline, and they will make their way to their house. So we like to see. And so what I think I'm going to do, I don't know how to time lapse the video yet, so it's going to be a little slow, but what I think I'm going to do now is just get some commercial zoned in here. Nothing too crazy. I just want to get some businesses. One thing I do want to put commercial is a gas station. And so I don't want to use the signature because then happens is I can only use that building once, but since I pull it out of service buildings, if we type in no, there we go. Just had to get rid of some of the stuff. So what I'm gonna do is throw in this little gas station. A 4x6. Can't have. Oh, we can do a 4x4 though. I like that. Right there at the edge of West Madeline and First. You been to that gas station, the one on Madeline and First? Yeah, that's the one. And you know what? I'm gonna put another one down on Ninth. And we're gonna put one more down at the edge here by the bridge. A smaller one though. We wanna maybe a 3. We like a 3 by here we go, 3x3. Something quick. Where you about to go? I'm going to that gas station on 17th and Madeline. You know the one by the bridge? Something quick. So just like that, we got everything we need to get started. So now what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to continue to place more houses down, a little bit of commercial. Now that I have, um, and look, here they go, the Ambrose family. They are making their way into the house. Alright, sorry about that. The Ambrose family is in. And just like that, we are started. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep putting some commercial. I'm just gonna zone random stuff though. We'll get a 3x4 here. Build a little 3x4 this way. Look, old furniture. Call us at 389 West Madeline. Looking for a job? Come work for us at 389 West Madeline Street. You feel me? Oh my goodness. And I'm just going to continue zoning. You know, we want small things, 3x4s. I mean, if you think of like Fond du Lac, right? You think of Fond du Lac Street, West Fondy in Milwaukee. You drive down Fondy, it's commercial all the way down. And then as we get closer here into the, so I think this is a good stopping point right here. So now we're at this first intersection. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save it. Don't want the game to crash on me now. So what I'm gonna do, I noticed that oil truck before made a U-turn. Can't have that. So I want to go through, not all of them. Yeah, look at that. We want to get rid of the U's, get rid of the unsafes. Okay, we're here. We're just gonna go through on these as we plop down houses, and we're just gonna take away the U-turns and the unsafes because, yeah, getting started. Getting started. I will say that population numbers are not growing like I thought they would be, but that's cool because, oh my goodness, that's cool because we're just getting started. And what I think too is later I'm gonna have to build a little, the highways up here. What I like across the bridge, maybe like a bridge across. I mean, this is raised. This part of the ground is raised. So maybe I can build like a, maybe this can be part of this area, and if we go across, and it can be an on-ramp over here, and then they can come from both sides. Why don't we get into that real quick? Why don't we get into that? We can go from both sides, right? But then this one right here, we're gonna have to change this. So from here, I want us to elevate it, right? We're gonna have to build a bridge here. Jeez, it's not 23 though. We'll get it to come out this way, and we'll raise it. I don't foresee using this river here as something important. Give me like a 4% slope. Yeah, I just don't see it, you know. And what I think I'm going to do is we're gonna angle this. And then this can be another so then I want this to touch the ground then. We no longer need it to be sloped. And we're just gonna build a small little neighborhood. Well, because this is still West Madeline Street. So this is still West Madeline. Actually, I like that. Oh, they need a job. Well, guess what? Here in over here in your city, we got plenty of stuff. So we're gonna pause it. want to make sure we have access. And you know what? I can turn on the depot. The one thing about this game is you gotta have the lower tier, like the factory, not lower tier, but like the factory jobs. That stuff has to be available for people to take advantage of. Because not everybody comes in with that degree. And you know what we can do here? This can turn into, this can kind of become the more like another area of fancy homes. We'll blow that out right there, smooth that back. And I think I want to take advantage. Because it drops right here. I think I want to take advantage of this section. So I think what we'll do, we'll find the pines or the spruces. What are these spruces? It's these spruces? These pines. These are spruces. We'll get rid of these spruces in this area. A little bit of oaks. He ain't fooling nobody. He ain't fooling nobody. He ain't scared of nobody. And what we'll do here is essentially we'll do a divided 4-lane. We'll get this up in the air about 50. Oh, we just want this to be straight. Oh, we just want this to be straight. And you know what? With the mountain, we can get a little something over here. We'll leave that open, pending. And then we're gonna want to essentially turn this into something. Great, so now with that, we can move to highways. We'll just do singles. Yeah, we'll just do singles. So then I need to turn this into a custom 4-lane merger that I've created. Give it some time, give them some time to give them some time. We're gonna need to scoot that one. We're gonna need to move this because that's snug to the highway. We're gonna need to scoot that out just a little bit. I feel bad. It's such a nice little mountain. And then we can go back and smooth this. Everything continues. Custom 1-lane. is not gonna cut it. What if? Eh, I'm not too picky. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Did that wrong. Nope. Did that wrong too. Alright, so I have to go this way. Raise that up a little bit. Not too high. And now we can bring it down. And we basically just want this to... No. No. It's not what we want. And now we want to face it this way. Whoa. That is not what I meant to do. Here we go. Yeah, still not feeling it. For some reason, I am not able to figure this out. Now let's see what happens when we move it. Yikes. Alright, I'm getting it this time. Check me out. Yes. Yes. Alright. Now this one's gonna give us even more trouble. We're gonna bring this out this way though. Look at that. Look at that. So now, the one thing good. We can take this off. We can turn on 2 lane with the trees and the sidewalks. I like to do the 4. This will be a little bit of a nicer neighborhood too. And we'll bring this out and then grab this road and essentially turn off snapping because I like to make this somewhat perfect. No, no, no. Lane connector. We will not be U-turning. And merging into both is not safe. So all of that to get off this way, come underneath and pull up. We're gonna save it. We're gonna dock it. And we're gonna play it. One thing I am going to do is continue the zone. But as we get further down here, we're gonna put in some higher density, maybe some row. We'll go like this. Yeah. We're gonna go 3 this way, 3 this way. We'll get in some 3 this way. Alright, wait for those edges to come in so they don't face the wrong way. They said there's no housing available. I'm putting in the best of the best. So we got all of this. Well, we got the Ambrose family in here. We'll pause it again because we see this demand that we got. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go connect this. Because this needs 40 people. This needs 32. 72 people can move in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a road that kind of runs this way. Never smooth this out. I'm gonna create a road that kind of runs this way, and I think something else we can do is create a road that runs on the other side over here. Like this is above the highway. We can create a little road that goes across for easy access to the highway. I like this road, this little hill right here. I like this. This can be the start of downtown, as this right here will be the downtown. You know, the downtown is going to surround this lake. As I said before, we get a bunch of skyscrapers, offices, you know, little walking area, parks by the water. Something real easy. What I think um, we can do though is, like I said, quickly connect this. You know what else? Since we have this, what I think we could do, actually, instead of forcing the highway dream, we can, um, well, this is just a four lane. It's just a four lane without a. That's fine. What we can do is we can force this highway dream here. Rather not force it, but we can establish this. We can go across. We can come down to the ground here. And what we can do is kind of move this all the way, kind of slither this, and it can connect with this road. And so then we are essentially going to be taking this road and just combining it with that one. What will be on it? I'm not sure. Right? It's something. We can just kind of keep this and follow the contour lines. And then as we get closer, we can change this. And boom. However, now we're going to have to off and on ramp this, which does not seem. Actually, we're gonna just do the double. While you get on and you think that you can quick um, install an on ramp, it just doesn't work that way. I don't know why it's snapping like that. going to do here. I think we're going to smooth this out. Same with this. Just to give us a little bit more of something to work with. The whole time I was trying to get a bunch of houses in. And I'm stuck building extra ramps. That's not gonna work, actually. We're gonna have to take the long route. Because it needs to ascend. Come on, bro. I don't understand what the issue was. That's a sharp turn. And that's some steep elevation. Let's see if we can that seems to be a little bit more better. I mean, this one should also come down just to make the whole thing not seem like it's that dramatic. And we could move this one down as well. Alright, that's not terrible. And now to do the same thing here. This thing is so like so good enough. We can go here. Let's see if we can do this without anarchy now. Boom. And this one. Yikes. That's not very good either, though. Well, you know what we have to do? Get rid of this. Go back to the 3-lane. Nope, this is here. But what we need to replace it with is one up here. But again, not letting me snap to the right. And so now we should be able to what the I'm not understanding, is this not supposed to... I thought I was, pretty clever. Let's try it like this. That's weird. Boom. We turn this on now. Power out of service. It's on. So it's saying not enough water. One thing we can do is we can get a water treatment plant. No issue. And we can... Oh, everything happened. Oh, there you go. I still think that's a good idea. What do you know? No employees. We don't have enough skilled people to work on the roads. Well, what I can do right now is place a couple industry buildings. A 4x4, give it 4x4. We'll do 4 of these. 44. They're all gonna come out the same. I hope not. Boom. So we got those far away. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zone this. We're gonna go southwest. We're gonna go Eastern European. We're gonna go UK. And I think this is going to, I'm gonna fill in this side. No, I'm gonna fill in up to the light. Get rid of gas, go back up to depth. 4, level 2, I don't remember what it was. Housing, northeast, I want it all. And I want to randomly plop. It'll all work out. We'll give them a space of 2. So if I can get a 2, that'd be great. Even though I just did more than I should have, that's okay. 3. Yikes. That's okay. We can fill those spaces in. And boom, just like that, we're starting to get more people. This is what we live for. Oops. Can't have that open space like that though. That's not. I will not accept that one. Look at it. Alright, so I think after I fill this in, this is gonna be it for today. A good start though. A good start. Definitely like how this is turning out already, and I think look at that nice little neighborhood. This is a good little section in our first uh, Milwaukee inspired area. I mean, just off of this, we got 186 households, and um, I think this is gonna work well. I think we're gonna do some things here, and um, this is going to we're gonna continue to grow. I think next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna detail this neighborhood, and right off of that, a lot of the row houses. What is this? Old people moving in here. People coming from all over. Good. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna detail this. We'll get one more street. We'll go up to 5th Street. Yeah, next episode I'm gonna detail, and then we're gonna touch more on more commercial, bigger commercial to get more people some jobs and attract more people. Um, with the city growing, we're gonna have to start thinking about services, police, um, hospitals, yep, medical clinics, stuff like that. With people moving in now, we're about to be up to 50. We're gonna have to start thinking about schooling. Uh, we saw earlier down at the depot that wasn't enough highly skilled people. Well, that's we can change that with education. So I think with that being said, I think we're off to a great start so far. We have here we go. We got Madeline all the way up to Fifth. What are these streets? We got Firthmore. Nah. We're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one Foundation. Foundation Road. Magnolia, not a fan. But I am, and they changed this to Cozy. Why is this Cozy? We're gonna call this one Independence Way. They keep trying to get it off. They keep trying to change it. This is West. They keep trying to take away your credit, Madeline. West Madeline Street. Oh my goodness. All right. And with that being said, we're at 70. All right. We got people moving in. We're living. I mean, it's happening. Not all the houses, but all right. We're gonna get there. 199 jobs, 59 of them are used. We'll get there. Yeah, I think we're gonna do some services down here in this kind of uptown. We'll put more commercial, more services like right over here across from the water. We can, we'll probably get in like a medical clinic or something like that, right? Like you're driving down on the highway, you look down, you see your little hospital. No need for nothing this big. Not over here. I don't think we're gonna need anything. Jesus. Yeah, nah, definitely not. Not over here. No need for something like this. All the tall stuff's gonna be downtown. They got a disease control center. Yeah, no thanks. Cemetery. We can put a cemetery down. Actually, we could put this down right now. Um, but where? Uptown? Hmm. Not right now. Not right now. On the hill, Cemetery Hill. That's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. Get a little alley. Get a little alley, and I think even a small slope. We'll get a nice 2-lane. just with the trees. We don't need anything crazy. And just like that, Cemetery Hill, we got 112 people moving. All right, we're gonna end it with that. I appreciate everybody for coming, whoever is here. You know, we just getting started, and I hope that you know you guys can continue to be supporters, and we can build this together. All right, see you next time.